Surah Ma'idah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا. And Allah is radi and satisfied and has chosen Deen Islam as the deen for you. So while not mentioning the word Islam over here, when he says that he will establish for them their religion, this tells you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to Deen Mubin Islam. This is the ayat of Quran. What other religion would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be referring to? So this prophecy has not taken place yet. If anything, today in the world, what you see is not a very positive picture of Islam that is shown. Today, unlike maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when people looked at Islam differently. Now, when they see Islam, right away, they've been, sense automated to think right away something negative about it. Islam, barbaric. Islam, the followers, Muslims, are backwards. They are, for example, living in the Stone Age, and they cannot assimilate with the modern society. The values that Islam presents, for example, are not aligned with the modern world. The West is not compatible. In fact, our president has said it openly. It's not compatible with this religion. And therefore, if you want to practice this, there's this fear-mongering which is being created, that there's Sharia which is being replaced with the current code of conduct or the current codes that is being followed in this country, for example. That fear is being instilled. But far right, the people coming online, you see the TikTok videos, you see the Instagram and all these posts. Now people are using the social media platform to increase that fear. That somehow, somewhere, Islam is taken over. And then they go to look at these ayat. So look, that's the mandate of Islam as well. To overcome the entire world. To overtake the entire world. That's the promise that has been given. And therefore, this is where it starts. Of course, we see that we find ourselves where? Backs against the wall. The way people looked at us, the way people treated us, the way people had some sort of religious coexistence and understanding, right? When we have these interfaith programs, the reason was to be able to have harmony between different faiths, to be able to survive, to be able to understand one another. Yes, we're going to have differences. Nobody is expecting you to follow my religion, nor am I expecting you to follow your religion. This is not something which is lakum dinukum waliya din. So it's not about imposing, it's about just living side by side and coexisting. With that said, I'm going to go into a different track if I continue on this. Coming back to this ayah, many prophecies that are being mentioned in this ayah, we can all relate, have not come true. Religion of Islam, if anything, it has gotten a very negative reputation in the world, especially in the West. While this ayah of Quran is saying, He will surely establish for them their religion, which has been approved for them. And He will make you to be the successors. Nowhere do you see those things have not taken place. Now these things haven't taken place. Quran is promising these things, which means there will come a time when all of this will happen. In our belief, at least, that ray of hope is the wujood of our 12th Imam, Imam Mahdi Ajjalallah. In our belief, these promises will be fulfilled upon the arrival of Imam. That's one theory. Many makatib al-fiqh, many schools of thought within the religion of Islam have the similar concept and understanding. So therefore, I thought it'd be worthwhile in this time that I have to speak briefly about Imam Zaman. We know, especially for the children I'm explaining, there are two types of occultations, Ghaibat Sughra and Ghaibat Kubra. The Sughra, the minor occultation of Imam, is started from the time that he led the funeral prayers of his father, the 11th Imam. And then when he went into occultation. It lasted for almost 70 years until the year 329, during which he had 4 direct representatives. Uthman ibn Sa'id was his first representative, whom we would have communication through. Second, after the death of Usman ibn Sa'id, Muhammad ibn Uthman came into being the naib of Imam Zaman. After his death, Husayn ibn Raw became the representative, the same Husayn ibn Raw that when you will write the Arida to Imam, you address Husayn ibn Raw. And then lastly, Ali ibn Muhammad al-Sawri. Until the year 329, that's when the minor occultation came to a conclusion and the major occultation began in the year 329. When the major occultation commenced, the special deputation of Imam Zamana with these four naib ended. There were no longer anyone who was directly appointed by Imam as the mediator and a deputy, that according to declarations of Imam Zamana himself, that if anyone declares himself to be my direct representative, is a liar. Don't trust him. If anyone comes and today and says that I am the representative of Imam Zamana through his tawqi, meaning directly from him, that is something which is not permissible. Forget about this. There's so many people who raised and said they were Imam Zamana themselves. There were so many movements that happened. Mehdi Sudani claimed to be the Imam of the Waqt, Imam of the time. Similarly, other people as well. And while I don't have a great deal of time, about 10 years ago, someone walked into these doors, attended Salat al-Jumma. After Jumma, wanted to sit down with me, but I had the office back here, which is the AV room now. I sat with that individual, and he said he's Imam Zaman. So بلشت باللغة العربية، حكيت معه بالعربية، ما كان عنده جواب. He said, no, I don't speak Arabic. I said, how can Imam Zaman not speak Arabic? He didn't speak Arabic, he didn't speak Farsi, he was only communicating in English. And therefore said, go, please. Get some treatment. So we see that there were so many false alarms in the past 11, 12 centuries since the major occultation began. So many false gods were created, many false prophet claims, as well as many false Mahdi claims as well. This is where the follower has a very important duty to play. The duties of every Muslim in the ghaibat of Imam. While we believe that he is present, it is just an occultation. His time of arrival will come. Quran mentions it. This ayat is one of those proofs. Inshallah, on 15th of Shaban, I'll mention 8 or 9 ayat of Quran that directly talk about Imam Zaman. Waqt al-Ma'loom. That Waqt al-Ma'loom. What is that Waqt al-Ma'loom? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given respite to Shaitan. When he was kicked out of the bargah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, let me live until the day of judgment. Allah said, no. Ila waqtin ma'loom. Mufassirin agree. Waqt al-Ma'loom is different than Yawm al-Qiyamah. Yawm al-Qiyamah is different, Waqt al-Ma'loom is different. And majority of them agree on the fact that Waqt al-Ma'loom is until the reappearance of Imam over time, Imam Mahdi Allah. So one of your duties, directly connected to the ayat of Quran that I recited for you from Surah Nur 55, is to be the caretakers of Islam. Allah demands or is commanding you that you will be, or giving you the news that you will be successors of this earth. Now you gotta start acting like one. First, try to be caretakers. Take care of it before this can be trusted to you. Just like a father who assesses, while there are rules and laws of inheritance in Islam already set, and we cannot alter them, the ayat of Quran are very clear. Who gets what share? How much the boys get, how much the girls get, how much the wife gets, how much the parents get, how much the siblings get. All of that has been addressed in Islam already. We don't need to reinvent the wheels. But here, sometimes comes a conundrum where a person says, if I leave this much to this son or leave that much to this son, then it would not be justice for them. You leave the justice out of it. You only believe what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Allah.